Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 501. Two. Woo! I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Fines.
Oh, we just talked about this.
I know.
It's on the mind. That's why.
No,
yeah.
What's up? No, I immediately when I started saying it, I almost said 400, and I'm like, no, it's 5, dude. It's 5. In my head, I'm going through this. Is going through my head right now. It's 5, and I said 501. I'm like, shit. This is 502 of the movie cast. Welcome, listener and viewers. Sorry about last week. We had so much personal crap going on with work and everything else. It's just we couldn't get a podcast together. It was like just nightmares happening. Like I kept seeing you guys text, and it just was like one thing after another. It was like
yeah, it wasn't meant to be. But no. I mean, I have to say, of the 10 years we've been doing this, we maybe missed like a handful of weeks.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good.
We usually do something. Like with 2 of us, 3 of us, just was like everybody had problems. It was crazy. So, anyways,
Plus,
so that's what happened.
It was the man Tony's birthday last week too. So,
birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah.
It feels like forever ago.
I know.
Yeah. 2020, man. Every
quarantine,
week
man.
Feels like a year. Yeah.
Life.
I feel like I'm already 40, and that's not till next year.
I know. I feel that, bro.
So, man. Yeah, guys, it's been crazy. There's been a lot of news in the last 2 weeks. Believe it or not, even the movie side of things, we've had AMC saying they're coming back, and now AMC's like, hold up, we're not coming back now until right now. It's July 30th. With this virus outbreak, guys, I just theaters, how this year? I just don't know. Like, they're still trying. Like, all these movies got delayed. Bill and Ted's got moved to August 28th because Tenet, which is in the news here. I'm not getting into news. We'll get into that, but this just flows. Tenet got delayed now finally out of July, which was Chris Nolan's like, no, you can't do that. But if nobody's in a theater, just
if you want to release in July, then release it digitally. Like if that's how bad you want to release it. Like do it the way everyone else is like making do.
That's the thing. Like I was reading last night about there's a lot of like pending lawsuits for this whole stuff by not just like AMC and movie theaters are suing movie companies because of them streaming. And then the other aspect of it is like profit losses from like investors because the movie didn't come out in the theater. It's like, it's craziness out there. Just that kind of stuff is on the horizon that the movie industry is going to have to deal with. I think the streaming stuff, it should have been ready to begin with. This should be like the new norm. We should be doing this anyways with a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies that don't need a theatrical release. There's just so many. And now I can move into what we've been up to. I'll lead us off here with Artemis Fowl. I watched that Disney Plus. And I opened with that statement saying there's a lot of movies that don't need to go to the theaters. This is one of those movies. This is a movie that I thought had good promise. Great. Colin Farrell's in it. It's pretty good cast. I thought it was actually, it feels like they just cast Hagrid as Hagrid. But it's obviously it's Josh Gad. But the guy, he's acting like Hagrid, like specifically. So I don't really know the story of Artemis Fowl at all. Now, Corey, did you read those books or no?
No, they didn't really interest me. But I know what the premise is.
Okay, yeah. So I have to say that like it's not good. It's not. I'm happy like this was not a movie theater movie. Like this is fine here because it could like improve. Like there's room here. Like this reminded me of like Aragon. Like Aragon was not a good movie, right? I mean, this is the same idea. Like,
that's something I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah. But it reminded me of it so much. I'm just like, okay, this had good. You could see the promise in the story, but it just didn't flesh it out because it's maybe not a movie style. Maybe it should be a series again. We go back. How many times have we mentioned things should be better would be better as a series? I didn't get enough story, and I don't know the story, so I was like, the book people had to be pissed. So I didn't get because I didn't get a story that that made sense to me much. It looked like they skipped a whole bunch. Everything was kind of skirted through. And I don't even know the story. So that's the big thing for me that I watched, except for, I watched The Floor is Lava on Netflix.
I watched an episode of that. Yeah.
You gotta check it out. It got me with the name. I was like, okay, the premise is a cool idea. Fun show. It's a game show though. For those who don't know, this is the childhood game, The Floor is Lava, you can't touch it. That's exactly what this is if they've made a virtual, like not a virtual, but it's like dyed water that's bubbly. Like obviously it's not real lava, but they made it look like lava. And they have to traverse across an obstacle course without touching the ground, or as soon as they touch, they're done. And most of them have just fallen straight in. But there's some really stupid decisions in this. And like, I'm like, where do they get these people from? Like, they're just making like horrible decisions. Like the three bros.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure
bro.
The jokes are so bad. You know, I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. So I watched an episode of that and more Space Force. We'll watch that. And let's see what else. No, just I actually watched more Simpsons and the High Score Girl. High Score Girl. Watch another. I know only another episode of that because I know I watched another movie and I'm just like it's gonna hit me because it was 2 weeks ago and I can't remember exactly what it was, and so I'll remember it at some point, probably not this podcast, but like later on down the road, like I saw that movie. So that's pretty much it for me. Mike, what have you been watching?
Quite a bit for me actually. So I finished Young Justice,
Nice.
season 3. It was okay. It wrapped things up a little better than it looked like it was going to, but it's still just okay. I don't know. It's
hard when you compare it to the first couple seasons.
Again, it's in this weird sort of place where it's like adult and kiddie at the same time, and there's a total dangling plot where there was like a whole sub story going on in one episode about these new characters. I have no idea who they are, and it's never brought up again. By the end of the season, I'm like, who? Why? Whatever. Anyway, so that was done, and then on DC Plus or DC Universe, whatever the fuck you call it.
DC Universe, gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
I decided to start watching Titans.
Nice.
So Titans, first of all, one thing I noticed right away that I was wrong about my initial impressions of the show is the guy who's Robin is not supposed to be like 18. He's supposed to be like 28 or 9.
Well, he's already kind of beyond, right? Seems like he's kind of jaded by it by now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got from the fuck Batman part, I got the impression of him being like an 18-year-old like punk. But then I realized, this guy is actually, he should be Nightwing, and I guess the whole first 2 seasons are kind of about that decision, which seems like a long time, but anyway. So, and he also has a resting Grant Gustin face. He looks a lot like Grant Gustin or Matt Pat from the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay.
He looks like both of those. It's kind of weird. Anyway, the show starts out, and I really liked it at first. It like I said in the chat, it's like a combination of Stranger Things and what else did I say? Oh, and
small. Oh
no!
I saw your comment about Smallville.
At its best, it was like a combination of Stranger Things and Daredevil. At its worst, it's like R-rated Smallville. Near the end of the first season, there's just some bad episodes, and there's a lot of characters that I don't like at all. Like Hawk and Dove, like I really don't care about them. Like they both suck. And I really don't like this take on Starfire either. She's just kind of like an ill-tempered, murderous alien who looks like a prostitute. Like I don't get what her deal is. She kind of sucks too. And even Dick, who like I normally do fall into the main character bias, and it helps me like stuff sometimes, but the fact that he like doesn't know what he's doing for so long in this and like is constantly trying to find himself, even though he's the leader, I'm like, come on, man, like get your shit together. And twice he says he's admitted to killing someone, and then twice when you see what happens, he didn't kill them at all. And there's also the thing where people get mad for stupid reasons along those lines too. So it's up and down. And I think Corey, you may have mentioned this. I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, because you watched through these first 2 seasons, right?
I didn't watch the second season.
I haven't seen the second season
yet. It was probably late in the first season. I think maybe I'm misremembering this. You said there's this moment that is meant to be like super impactful and like tragic, but the CGI or special effects involved are so bad you just laugh at it. And I don't know if you said that or not, but I'm pretty sure if you remember, you know what I'm talking about.
I know. Pretty sure.
I know what you're talking about.
The scene is.
I mean,
yeah.
Yep.
Something abruptly happened. I'm like, okay. But that said, I did go through almost all of it, so I do like it a bit, and I am curious to see where they go.
It's Mike's new Smallville. It's the show you love to hate.
See,
but
again, there's stuff there's stuff I really like that happened too, and I do like sort of how, the presence of Batman is always there, but never like in the way, kind of. Although I'm not a big fan of the geriatric sort of casting of Batman, but whatever. But no, yeah, so I've watched it. It's okay, but it's a little rough here or there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna finish it. I have 3 more episodes, and we'll see how it ends. Second season, at least. I don't know where the status of season 3 is. I think it got delayed during all this.
Yeah, everything's
Probably.
delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's delayed. Safe bet. So.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay. Corey.
I guess speaking of DCU, kept up with Harley Quinn. The last 2 episodes were good. I can't stress how surprised and amazed that they've accomplished created such a great show with Harley Quinn.
That might be next for me, or Doom Patrol.
Yeah, it's just the characters are so good in Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
and it's its own universe, so it doesn't abide by any of the rules that have been pre-established in the DC universe, other universes. So they have a lot of freedom with it.
It's by adding on to that, it's a good thing that those rules don't exist. Like a lot of times you get angry that you're like, this doesn't make sense. Why are they doing this? But you have to. It's a comedy, and they use that. Like they use that as they're not hamstrung by all of this old stuff that you need to come up with. I mean, Mike, I think that's next. I would recommend that next because it's short episodes and they're very easy to watch. It's real quick.
Yeah, I'm there was the one episode of Doom Patrol about Doom Patrol and Titans.
Yeah.
And I wasn't super sold on them, but I know they recast a couple people, or at least the main guy, as Timothy Dalton, and they add some more. So maybe, but it's supposed to be better.
It's good, and it's going to whatever. It's gonna be all. It's not gonna be exclusive to DC Universe, so I think it's moving.
As long as it's there, I don't care.
But yeah, so watch that, and then I've been watching a lot of Fringe. I just kind of keeping up on Fringe. It's funny because I usually watch Fringe, and I was watching Bones. I kind of had to stop watching Bones because it's just after a while it's just too much of the same, I guess. But at the same time, all these shows are the same. It's just I guess how they approach it. But they all deal with these really gross, things that happen. With Bones, it's people getting murdered in gross ways, and Fringe, it's these crazy events that are really gross, where people's brains are liquefied, or people are exploding, and they're looking at bits, or they're melting. It's just all these gross things, and I'm finding that I'm always eating when I'm watching these shows. I'm like, why am I watching this stuff when I'm eating? What's going on here? But then it's that's when I have time to watch it. It's lunchtime, I'll watch a little bit. Dinner, I'll watch a little bit. You gotta find some time when I'm not.
That's the only time I watch stuff, because otherwise I'd play a game.
Similar. So that's pretty much all I've been watching these past couple weeks.
Okay. All right, Tony.
Let's see, what have I watched? Finally got around to watching Arrival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was really good. I liked that a lot, actually. Totally did not expect that to go down the way it did. Right. Well, the twist, but
I guess. But they tell you throughout the whole what's going on throughout the whole movie, and then you're but then they kind of peel away the curtain a little bit, and you're oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah, a little past the halfway point, I was like, wait a second. I was starting to be oh, okay. And because of other things I've seen or played, I was oh, okay, maybe this is it. And eventually it's okay, yeah, that is it, and stuff like that. But it was really good. I didn't expect an alien movie where you don't really see the aliens a lot. I thought that we were gonna fall into the typical trope where it's oh, cool, you got a bunch of Marines shooting and whatnot.
Right.
Totally wasn't that. So the whole aspect of them trying to figure out how to communicate and stuff like that, I thought it was really cool and stuff like that. So yeah, pleasantly surprised, despite
the director, Denis, whatever, film away, but whatever his name is, I forget his last name. I'm super excited for Dune because he's doing Dune.
Right,
And,
right.
So then Prisoners was great. Arrival was great.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And Blade Runner 2044 was great. So
I think
I'm super excited.
a decent performance out of Jeremy Renner. Like just.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you watch some of the extras, I think they have the extras on Vudu. If you got that from there,
yeah,
they talk about like how like he was really great for the role because he kind of was just allowed to be in the background.
Yeah, I feel like that's just his MO and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I did that, and then I watched Lupin the Third. The Castle of Cagliostro or something like that. I think it's a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah,
from like 1970 or something like that. But it was pretty good. Animation from back then still holds up, to this day, which is really cool. Something from 50 years ago. Just like some of the Disney stuff from that era.
Classic hand drawn stuff. It's like,
yeah, exactly. I love it.
Doesn't go out of style. Just
it's just like 2D pixel art. Like
technology gets better and will like make things look better. Like when you draw something well, it looks good forever.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I would have enjoyed it even more if I was a fan of the series. I've only seen some episodes when it was airing on Cartoon Network or whatever, but yeah, it was still solid. And then like Jim mentioned, I watched a couple episodes of The Floor is Lava, and then watched some more of The Chef Show on Netflix, which is that cooking show with Jon Favreau and
right. I watched the first episode of that 2 weeks ago, I think. That's why I watched one of those. It's when he goes back to the guy's kitchen to make him the omelet and everything like that, and it goes into the whole like. That's the first episode I watched of that one. That's his show, right? That's what that is.
I don't know if the first episode was omelet. Right, Jon Favreau.
I think it was. Maybe I wasn't watching. I thought it was.
No, I watched an omelet episode, but that was from like season 3.
Oh, really? Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I obviously messed that up, but I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first episode is him with Gwyneth Paltrow, and he's like, he mentioned something.
You mentioned that because like the Iron Man connection.
Yeah. She's like, I wasn't on Spider-Man. He's like, yeah, you were. He's like, I think I'd remember that.
That was like a clip on YouTube too. I think that was going around.
Yeah, exactly. What? But yeah, as far as cooking shows go, like it's really cool because like it's Jon Favreau. And it's what's his name, Chef Choi, who's like one of the pioneers of like the food truck industry. Started out in California. Like they just have a really good chemistry because like it's like kind of like the student and the master. And then they just get these other like either celebrity chefs, food truck chefs, or like other people. So like an episode I saw, he actually had Sam Raimi on, and they were just cooking and stuff like that, and it was just like. They made like some Evil Dead references and stuff like that. So it was just like really funny. It's like it's entertaining, but it's also educational too because they like go like into like why they're doing things like certain ways and stuff like that. So really easy to watch and enjoy and stuff like that. And I'd say that's pretty much.
I always have to every time you mention it, gotta recommend Chef because that movie is fantastic.
Is
and
that
it's about him?
Well, yeah, that's what the show was based on because
that's what
the Chef show. Right, like he makes like a sandwich.
But the movie is. Him like being like a pretty prestigious cook and then kind of has a meltdown and then leaves his restaurant and starts a food truck and just drives around doing that. It's a really good movie.
Okay, cool. Hang on, sorry. All right, let's see. Let's get into the news then. Let's do it. We have a box office, so we have a lot to go over. So
box office is on hold for the next 12 months.
20 years. All right. I'm going to scroll back here. We go way back. 30 Rock. This was obviously the week before. 30 Rock is going to be having a reunion. Was it one episode special?
It's like a YouTube type of stream thing, right?
Coming your way July 16th.
Like a table read type of thing?
Probably. I didn't get much information from what this is saying. We're happy. I guess they're doing they got to be doing like a digital reunion kind of thing like everybody else has been doing. That's what I'm thinking. A Zoom episode. So that's cool though. I mean, if you like 30 Rock, I like that show. That was great. To have them back. It looks like July 16th on NBC and July 17th on their digital stuff. So
The Peacock.
The Peacock, yeah. Which I haven't even I have it
Can't believe
from
it's still
Xfinity.
around. Yeah.
I haven't.
The only
even
reason
looked
I
at it.
want to look at Peacock is to watch the Psych movie, because I actually do want to see the new Psych movie.
Oh yeah.
It grew on me. That show grew on me. I'm
Yeah.
a fan now.
Tim loved that show. He used to love that show. I have to tell him it's coming out on Peacock. So I just got
it's a new
HBO
movie.
Max, by the way. Yeah, I got HBO Max, by the way. Oh no, I didn't get it. Sorry. What happened was we were changing phone companies this today, and AT&T gave me a free trial, a 30-day free trial to HBO Max with AT&T. But we're leaving them, so I'm like, well, I'm grabbing this code now before I go, so I can give it a try. Because they only give you a 7-day trial normally. So I'm on a 30-day trial for HBO Max, which I don't know when I'm going to stream it on because it's not fucking compatible with Amazon Fire Stick or Roku's. Guess what I have in this house? Both. That's I have my Xbox, I guess. That's what I'm going to have to put it on to take a look. But I figure for 30-day content, I'm going to give it a try. But
I actually did want to mention something real quick that reminds me. I put in the Discord, but I've been listening to a podcast called Business Wars. And it reminds me a lot of the Console Wars book and how it deep dives into these different companies and how they parallel each other or compete with each other or make each other better or worse, and just the interaction. And their first one was Netflix versus Blockbuster, and how those two companies, rose and fell or rose again. And they do mention HBO in it and how HBO streaming and one of the things that Netflix was trying to do was get HBO content on their platform, and the guy's like, "No, fuck you! Like, we're too good for you.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never have our content." And now, get them. They're trying to catch up to Netflix.
they are. Speaking of Netflix,
It does go into a lot of House
Cobra-
of Cards and how that got that whole thing got to Netflix too, which is cool.
Okay, that's cool. They have what the heck they were.
They have some good ones. They did Nike versus Adidas, which I listened to. They did Sony versus Nintendo. They have Uber versus Lyft. It's pretty cool. It's really well done too, production-wise. It's really good.
I'll check that out. Awesome.
That's the business.
Cobra Kai from YouTube
Yeah.
original streaming, which is now over. Thank you, Google, for your mild interest in everything you do. But Cobra Kai was a great show, and I'm very happy to see that Netflix picked it up. So we're going to be getting season 3 of Cobra Kai on Netflix. I didn't even watch season 2 on YouTube, the streaming service. That's probably my fault. I'm happy it didn't get canceled. But I don't know. There's nothing on YouTube besides. Like, there's no draw.
I haven't even done like their. It was. I say, you want to start a free trial on this? I was like, no. Like, get out of my face.
It's been
Constantly-
super obnoxious about that lately, actually.
They are, yeah. Well, with the YouTube TV, they were like constantly coming up with a free trial of that, and I'm like, nope. But I'm so happy to see that it's coming to Netflix. So by the end of the year, you'll have seasons 1 and 2 on there, and then season 3 I think is early next year. So we'll have that. That's a great show. If you have not seen it, gotta see season 1 without a doubt. It's fantastic. I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, obviously, but even like it's so cool to see it from.
Was
the
it the
other side.
best around?
It's Nothing's gonna never keep you down. So it's just like
Do it.
it's so cool to see it from the other side of the screen. Like, what was Johnny's story, so it's really cool to get that. Other news am I still connected here? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a haircut too, by the way.
Oh, yeah, nice.
finally. It feels like it's
My
like
headphones
a
just
weight off
changed.
the shoulders. It's amazing.
Soldiers.
Shoulders.
Sorry, my headphones just got really quiet or something really weird. Anyways, another crazy news. In the Flash movie, we're reportedly getting Michael Keaton as Batman.
You know what's crazier news?
I almost
to me?
don't want to report this because this is DC movie news, which means it may
No,
not-
I have to say this though. What's
been out there like
crazier
crazy.
to me
I know.
in this whole, which is amazing, Michael Keaton playing Batman again. That's cool. That's awesome. But what's more amazing to me is that Ezra Miller is still playing the Flash.
Yeah, that is
After
crazy.
he assaulted that fan, yeah.
Yeah, after he assaulted, and I guess we didn't hear much more after that story. Maybe there was like legitimate things that happened that he had to defend himself, and it was misreported. We just don't get any
the
follow-up.
video?
In the video, she
I saw the video.
approaches him.
I saw the
And
video,
he
and it did
just
not
puts
look
him
like
down.
it. Didn't look like anything that she did was that was
Well,
all on
she,
him.
She
but,
did approach him.
but there's been no there's
She
been
walked
nothing
up to
about
him.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So, but
Should have
man,
known
yeah.
better not to walk up to Ezra Miller when he's drunk.
Well, with a Flashpoint, maybe we get a rebooted Flash. I don't know. Looks like we're gonna get Flashpoint here with this, and like kind of like a
Who gives a
a
shit? Like
too.
honestly, who gives a shit? Do you care? Do you
I'm
care about the
excited to see
Flashpoint
Michael
movie?
Keaton back as Batman.
No,
Yes, I want to.
Do you give a shit about the movie?
Oh no.
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like from the article that they want to make Michael Keaton's Batman a kind of a ambassador to
the beyond older one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I mean,
all right.
we'll see what happens, but I don't trust that any of these plans will come to fruition at all. So
I just
it's almost like a fan theory at this point to me.
But it's cool. I think
It's
that's
not a
really
fan
neat,
theory.
though.
It's
Batman,
not a fan theory.
Michael Keaton.
There's
back.
you can't call this a fan theory. I'm sorry, you can't. It's been out there in multiple websites
I
reporting
know
the same.
that,
It's
but
not like some
when are they
crazy
going to
movie
film this thing? And
straight
when are they?
off.
They might revisit Ezra Miller, get rid of him. They might change their mind like they have about so many other things, and they might never be able to film anything ever again. Anyway,
I can't defend the ridiculous decisions of a stupid studio. I can't do that, Mike. I'm sorry.
Even that too. Everything
Yes,
is
it
so
is.
up in the air now.
Mike,
Anything
that is why. Mike, this is why it happens.
You guys are
Exactly.
arguing the same point and the same side.
I'm
So
just saying, Mike.
No, I'm not.
This is
That's
why-
why this is almost
I'm
not.
just
Michael
saying-
Keaton signed for Batman,
just
but anything
saying-
could happen because it's fucking COVID. Let's move on. Who gives a shit about
just
it?
want-
Why
I
are we
just
still
want my-
talking about this?
Because
Why
it's news.
It's news. Why
That's
wouldn't
why
we
it's
talk about
happening.
Who
That's
gives
why
a
it's
fuck about this movie? Honestly,
It could be something that reshapes the entire universe going forward.
who cares?
And it might lead to that Batman Beyond movie everyone loves about. Lots of people care about it.
I was just trying to say, Mike, you're arguing your exact point is because the studio you're talking about is fucking ridiculous and they have no idea what they're doing. That's why this is happening, Mike. Exactly the reasons what you just talked about is because of the studio.
And the fact that no one knows when they're going to film anything. But
Because they're flying by the seat of their pants. That's all. The whole studio is.
Let's move on.
All right.
Let's move the fuck
Seth
on.
Rogen.
Stop talking
We're
about
moving
this shit.
on. We are
Okay.
moving
I don't
on.
understand why you're so triggered by this. We're just talking
We're
about the
talking
news.
about this for like 5 minutes. Who cares?
Three.
So let's discuss something for once instead of going down a list.
What is there to discuss? It may happen, it may not happen. Just move on. Read, Jim, read.
Seth Rogen.
On exciting stuff. Just read.
Okay.
Sorry,
Seth,
not the one thing you're interested in. We gotta just keep reading.
Seth Rogen is going to be producing the new CG animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, like a reboot, whole reboot now, again.
CG animated though. It's not
CG animated, yes.
Yeah, not live action.
Not live action. No, CG animated movie.
Yeah, I think that studio did what, Sausage Party or something? I don't know. Doesn't really
I'll see
scream
a
out.
Sausage Party Turtles version.
I think that was the last one he did. Yeah. So I don't know how you move from that to Turtles. I don't know, but
Oh, hey, you might get that adult version of Turtles you're always asking for. I mean,
Yeah,
you
maybe
know.
it's more comic book style-esque. Maybe.
That's not really what we want. I think a bunch of people think they want that and they don't in reality.
Until you see it and you're like, I don't want this, not me.
It's like, oh, they don't even like pizza? What's going on? There's no jokes? What?
Yeah.
They're just killing everyone?
I don't think I've ever read a Turtles comic book. Like, I probably should read that. Like, I've never read one.
I've
watched all their shows.
I've read the crossovers that were recent, and way back in the day, I read a few.
Well,
where
you can't count crossovers. Crossovers are, styled after like the. It's not. It's not. From
I
the
know,
comic.
I know, but they did with the second Ghostbusters when they actually incorporated a current whatever storyline that's going on story involving like Splinter, going bad basically. It was because that stuck out to me. It's like that's not the status quo for the Turtles, but the idea was Splinter took over the Foot Clan, and like that was something that happened in their continuity before this crossover, and they kept that in there. So I was like, oh, okay, but. Yeah, I don't know. I've always read stuff that sort of was in the middle. Like even back in the early 90s, there was one that, they're still color coded, they still joked around, but they were still like, pretty violent every now and then. So somewhere in between is where I like it, but we'll see if they can find that tone right.
Yeah, I was in GameStop the other day, and they actually had this 4-pack of like classic turtle figures, like from like the early 1990s or whatever like that. It's like $50 or so. I was like, oh, that's cool. But like, I was like, I probably could find these somewhere in my house if I dug around. But
I probably should check it out. But I got the new Joker 80th thing comic book. They had, like the 80th anniversary book. I got like the big story book. It made
80th anniversary what, Joker?
I bought a comic book. Yeah, I bought
Joker.
a comic book. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like they have like talks
Because
with
it was
like Mark
what, like
Hamill.
a year or so after Batman debuted that Joker showed up. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So
Like early Batman is just weird to me. I tried like looking at it.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know about this.
was it? What was that? Detective
80 years
Comics or
ago.
something like that. Yeah, I think I don't know. I picked it up. I kept seeing it, and I'm like, I really wanted it because there's like supposed to be some great stories in there. Plus, I think it's like a good collector's item. 80th. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a good collector's item, and like there's like I said, there's interviews with a lot of people, like writers, and Mark Hamill's in there. Like they do the whole interview with him, playing the character and such. So I picked that up.
Yeah,
But,
speaking of comic books, I actually, because of all the Avatar stuff, I actually went and read all the Avatar comics.
Oh, I've been meaning to do that. Are they online?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, if I upload them, they can be. Yeah.
Just download Bending, right?
Exactly. But yeah, no, they're actually really. Some of them are really interesting and give you more insight to some of the characters that I was like, oh, that's cool to find out.
I'm so mad because I learned that if it wasn't for M. Night Shyamalan's fucking live-action movie, we would have had like an extra season or a feature-length movie or something like that, animated movie.
I did not know that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
And like Shyamalama Ding Dong fucking killed that.
What?
Brain.
Why?
So
Why? Yeah, that makes it even worse. That movie was so bad already. Like that makes it
Like I
way
didn't
worse.
mind them doing it, and I think I was excited for it when it was being announced.
I was
like, oh,
excited
cool,
for it. Yeah.
this is amazing. But then what are they thinking? Like they didn't. It wasn't like just the.
I don't want to talk. I don't
No,
wanna
let's-
talk.
Yeah,
It's
let's
so
move on.
bad. It's so bad.
It's not worth
painful.
it.
It's very painful.
No.
Last,
Comics free. Go find those comics.
All right,
really, the
well,
last bit of news we have. Is Margo Robbie's cast to star in a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie reboot kind of thing
Your
with the Birds
favorite.
of Prey writer. Huh?
Your favorite actress.
Yeah, I'm just not excited for this, but it's news. The
Pirates
screenwriter
people
from
love-
Birds of Prey.
Everybody loves
did the
pirates.
last Pirates movie do well? I don't remember.
No, it did not.
Not for its standards, I think, but I think it was okay for like just a movie.
What was the last one called? Pirates.
I don't know.
6 pirates. I don't know. Was it 6 or 6?
Pirate. That's Pirates.
Beating a dead horse.
I don't know, but it's like Dead Man's Chest. Is that the one?
Oh no, that was like 3, man. Come on, there's 4.
Really? On Stranger
Might have been
Tides?
4.
Was Johnny Depp not in the last
Dead
one?
Man Tell No Tales.
Or was
Oh, I was close.
You had one word.
So, it's Dead Man.
Pirates.
2 words. So, yeah, I don't know. Johnny Depp not playing Jack Sparrow is kind of weird. I think he should still play it, even though the series is clearly dead in the water. But yep. So I don't know. This is news, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. We'll see how it
It's
goes.
kinda-
Margo
I feel-
Robbie. People like her. So.
yeah.
I mean, I guess they should redo something different because by the second one for me, I was out.
Yeah. 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 The last one opened 62 million domestic, went on to gross just shy under 800 million. So I mean, it's still pretty
like
good.
Elizabeth Swann and what's the guy's name again?
Orlando Bloom.
Well, yeah, but what's his name? The character name? Will
Who
Turner.
cares?
Yeah,
Wow,
so those
good-
two are actually
good for
in the
him.
movie, I think, at the end. So they kind of try to tie it all up.
All right. That's really it for the news. That's going to wrap up 502 of the Moviecast. So thanks for tuning in. You can write us, podcast@allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe and the like button. We are hopefully coming up with new ideas with this. We're looking at Twitch. I'm not even going to lie. We're going to try that. I have like
Don't
tools
make any
downloaded.
promises, Jim.
I'm going to try it. We're going to try it.
Promising live. Okay.
I'm trying it. We're going to try it. I'm going to start hyping it. I don't know what's coming, but it's coming soon.
Did you ever-
How about that? We'll
Do you
tease
ever
it.
stream Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, no, but I have played it. Yeah, I have played it more, but I haven't streamed it yet. So, but I'll stream
All right.
that with that same channel. So, hey, look us up on Twitch. Might as well look us up because I'll be streaming on there. So, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.
Yeah.